What is going on, guys, and welcome to a little time-lapse video of a project I've been working on in the background for the last week or so. There's a reason why I haven't put any videos out, but I'm pretty sure I'll go into that in a different video, ironically. But for now, check out this. So what we're doing, we're building some kind of temple complex within the, like the made-up realm, the made-up world, the medieval world that we've been working on with Karnheim, our medieval city, which we'll be getting back to pretty soon, hopefully. We'll see over the Christmas period if I have any spare time, but you know, it's Christmas, we spend it with family. So, what I wanted to do is do a little bit of a voiceover and show you some really cool things that are going on in the background with this build. So, as you can see, we've built up quite a big defensive sea wall on the side. And now in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see I'm building some kind of like elevated platform. This area that we're working on, I kind of flattened out in the first place anyway, but I wanted to build it up a little bit, get a little bit of terrain movement going around and make it look like this was kind of built into the side or on top of this little complex that we're on. So I've never really done much of this before, especially like the world edit and the brushes and stuff like that. So I did the best I could. It's all going to get covered up with a temple in the end anyway. So chances are any mistakes that I make, anything that doesn't look natural, will get covered up anyway. So I'm not too worried about it, if I'm honest. And I think it turned out pretty well. You'll see further on in this video how masked it kind of comes. You kind of forget that it's there. So I'm going to go around, stick some grass around the edges, make it look like it's nice and smooth, and then we're going to fill this topping because we've got a big old hole in the middle, which leaves us for a lot of stuff we can do underneath, which I'm probably going to put some catacombs or something down there. It would be a shame not to, right? It's kind of a temple area, that kind of thing going. And here I'm building the actual temple itself. So we made quite a bit of changes to this as we go along, some that I recorded and some that I didn't, but the whole idea of this is I want this world to have certain type of temple, and this is going to be one. And I think we decided on a live stream that this would be like this entire temple complex would be worshipping kind of like life, whatever kind of god it was, and we think we're going to resemble that with some kind of like tree, which I think is a really cool idea. So I wanted like this big main hall at the back you see there, and then like this big tower to kind of welcome you in. So we're going to leave that where it is, and then I kind of changed the, I changed the top, and I wanted to make it a little bit more sloped up, to kind of resemble the way like a tree slopes up. I pulled that out of thin air, if I'm honest. So in the background, I'm filling in these walls. This is going to be like a big retaining wall, kind of, with a lot of stuff going on. We're going to do a bit of a quick jump. That was a bit of a weird transition there. We changed the back of this. I didn't like the way it was curved, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to put this kind of area, this praying area out here. I kind of envisioned that the tree would be inside this, but then part of me thinks it's not big enough, so I'm going to have the tree hanging off the edge of the complex. I think that's a cool idea, to have that kind of going on there. And as we spin around, I'm just doing a little bit of work, adding a little bit more to this. We're going to have another tree in the middle there. And, oh, that was a nice little cinematic with the sun there. And as we come around here, I'm just focusing on building these walls up, bringing the walls around, just getting the entire enclosure kind of filled in. I'll let you watch us put the walls in, and then I'll come back to you when I've got more to say. Well, here we go. I sped up the end a little bit just to kind of show you what we're doing. We're just literally packing those walls out, making them nice and thick, because we're going to use them for a lot of storage and stuff like that, and it'll all make sense in the end. Adding a few little complexes in the middle here, some nice diagonal buildings and stuff like that, try and make it look as natural as we possibly can. We need places for people to stay and stuff like that, and we're going to have like some kind of like, not hotel, but a place people like the wealthier can stay and stuff like that. Here I'm building the gatehouse in. I didn't want it to be too castle-like, but but at the same time, this is a kind of a fortified temple, so it does need a big gatehouse. I'm adding a little arm to the side there, which I thought was a really cool idea. We'll jump ahead a little bit. This is me now filling in a lot of stuff. If you want to see like the little bits that we added in, you can see like the points and stuff like that. Check out the live stream because we did all that on stream, but nothing much has changed. We've just built up the walls. We use a lot of sandstone and stuff like that in this build to try and make it feel like it was part of the environment, but not the same stone. I didn't want it to like kind of like fade into the background. So we're making those towers at the front quite rounded, trying to pull away from the castle-esque look. But again, it is fortified, so it's gonna look kind of castle-y. You know, adding a little bit of detail on here, a bit more of those points. I love putting pointy roofs in and those kind of like jutty outfits. I think it just adds. It's something I've done for a long time. So we kind of did that. We're gonna flip around now. We're gonna work on the gate a little bit. It was really important to me that we had a really cool looking gate, or at least a way that we could stop it. So I had this idea that we'd have some kind of like pulley system with a big counterweight, that they could like ratchet up inside these towers, and then drop the weight if they needed to close that gate or open that gate really quickly. And you can see here we've got the gate and we're using a bit of the ropes just to make it look like. And then here I played around with this a lot, and I do fix it further on in the video. You kind of see it in the background, trying to come up with some kind of weight. And as I was putting this together, I realized that the weight and the bridge itself for where it is a little high, so I do need to change that. But we do change that a little bit. This is the bit I was talking about earlier. This entire top section is going to be covered in grass. I'm taking a lot of inspiration from some kind of monastery. I think it's called the Tativ Monastery. And they have this kind of like grassed outer wall, and I love that idea. This little top section can be where people come. We're going to have a few farms up there. They can pitch their tents up, you know, and stuff like that, while they're here within this complex, worshipping whatever god we decide to put in here. Probably the god of life, like I said. Ooh, lovely little dark cinematic shot then. That was gorgeous. Using this little bit up here, I like this kind of like ship end. We're going to put something quite nice and a big statue up there, overlooking the complex. I think that would be really, really cool, and just another place where they can come and worship. You can see underneath there, I've started to dig some out. We're going to put some caverns and some catacombs under there, places where they can store grain and stuff like that, but also kind of like a weavy place to go in and out, and we can hide a lot of stuff, and we can put a lot of the treasures and stuff that this place will probably hold, because they would hold quite a lot. People worshipping and bringing gifts and stuff like that to whatever deities here. So we're adding just a little bit of protection. Again, these walls are here kind of to protect it, but at the same time, it needs to be very feature-full. So right now, we're adding some roof kind of designs on. I skipped that roof in the background because you've seen me do that roof like a million times. Just stick some straights, some upright half slabs, and some stairs, and away you go. We're just filling this roof, and again, I wanted to make it as natural as I could. I want to make it feel like this temple's been here for quite a while, but it's been very well maintained. Adding the roof to this little jutty out corner section, I've got a really cool idea for this section, and I'll let you know that when we do it, because until I try and fit it in, I don't know whether it's going to work. But I've got a really cool idea of what we're going to turn that little building into right there. So again, messing around with the roof. Roofs in Minecraft, especially in this type of mod pack, the Conquest Reforged mod pack, they're one of those ones. They can either be fantastic, or you can spend so much time on them and they look awful. So I think we kind of got the balance of both. We spent a bit of time on it, but at the same time, I think they look really cool. Just playing around with a bit of the spruce wood, just trying to give it a little bit of contrast. I got this cool little jutty out bit on the side here that we've got like this its own kind of garden section for the monks and whoever live here to kind of pray in their cell. We're going to put another. This is going to be a lot of trees. There'll be a lot of trees. I did kind of think of putting the big main tree here, but I like the idea of, see the bit that juts out on the left-hand side of your screen? I like the idea of putting a big tree there. But this will be an area for the monks or whoever like kind of worship in this temple to go and chill out, and it'll be really nice. So now we're just flying over the complex itself, just kind of showing you what's going on. We're covering these buildings in a different stone. It was really important for me to make sure that these buildings stood out, guys. Because these would be built kind of after the temple was built. So this temple would have been here anyway with the walls and stuff like that. And then they would have come in and started to add these buildings in, the more popular it got. And we may have a few little other places. So to the left of us there, we got, well, let's go back to the right. We got two little buildings. I'm probably going to turn those into inns, or at least somewhere where they can go and maybe get a drink or something like that, where they can stay while they're worshipping. On the left-hand side, we've got like a smaller kind of church looking area with a bell tower. This will be for a different kind of prayer. Maybe there's a different deity that's worshipped here, maybe a smaller deity. Maybe it's there just for other people to come and pray to a certain deity while they're there. Thought that was a kind of cool idea. But we do add kind of a bell tower at the end of this video to that section over here. So here we're playing around with the roof again, trying to keep all the roof kind of similar but different at the same time. These buildings were added later, so it needs a different kind of roofing texture. And I think we achieved that, but within keeping with the same kind of ideas, you know? And here we start to build this bell tower. So again, it was important for me that we had a bell tower in this build. There's going to be a couple of them, but you've got to be able to signal people to press somehow, right? So a bell is a great way to do that. And we're just going to finish off this bell tower. Guys, if you really like this video, there will be a part 2 coming out where we'll finish building this complex and then we'll do the interior. So I'm guessing this is probably going to be a 3-parter, maybe a 2-parter. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to get cracking on with this, and you should see another part within the next couple of days. If you like it, please leave a comment. If you haven't already, please subscribe for more builds like this, and I shall see you in part 2. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See ya.